my nail and stuff like this. So I can say 7. So divide it by 2, I have 3.5. So we're calling that what? That placement. So I just call it DP here. 3.5. Or more measurements, not the year. Good. This Helen Armstrong method is quite easy. It's just that the measurements are plenty. So next, we are not done. No. So next is abdomen arc. So you go from the midpoint. You know this point is the abdomen, like the flex part of your stomach, right? So you go to the side. Then you also find the hip arc. So you still go from the middle. So I think wearing a skirt will be better for this measurement. So you go from the middle and you find in the fullest part of your hip. That's the hip arc. So yeah, we have about 9 arcs. 9 arcs to find. You are finding 9 arcs. So I have 9 in total here. Um, let's count so that when you're doing yours, you know it's accurate. So we have the across shoulder, across chest, bust arc, bust span arc, waist arc, that placement arc, abdomen arc, hip arc. Okay, I have 8 now. It's remaining 1. Hip length, hip length, hip length. We have hip length left. Now to find that hip length, you're going to go from your waist to that horizontal balance line we found earlier. Horizontal balance line that you measure from the floor to the flex part of the hip. So put your ribbon across your hip area like this, then measure. You're measuring from the front. The center front area is where you're measuring from. Okay? You take it down to that point. Find it. Hip length for the front. All of these measurements now that I have done for the front, you are also doing it for the back. Okay, you're also doing it for the back. I will be attaching the picture of the things you need and how to find it at the end of this video. So just you can screenshot it and get to study it more and get to learn more about it. Okay, so that's for the horizontal arc. We've not entered vertical. Oh. Hey, God. Oh. Now, all these measurements I just mentioned, the arc, horizontal arc, you are going to be finding it for the back also. So the way you have found that of the front, going across one part like this, you're still going to do that of the back, going across one part. So you're starting from the center back to the side. Any measurement you're taking, you're starting from the center. So center front to the side for front, center back to the side for back. So for back, you're finding the across shoulder arc, across chest, back arc. So where that point we wrote bust arc. Now this time it is back arc because there's no bust at the back now. So back arc. Then you have the waist arc. You also have the abdomen arc and the hip arc. So and the hip length. The hip length. You're taking it from the midpoint to the hip. So you take your measurement from the midpoint, from the center back here on your waist, on the waist down to where the flex part of your hip is. That becomes your hip length for the back. So for your back, you're going to be having 8 measurements. You will not be having 9 because you know there's no bust span for that of the back. So these are the arcs you'll be needing for this drafting. Now, all these measurements that we have taken, if you know that you will not accurately get the arc, you know arc is going one part out of the 4 parts. If you know you can't get it accurately, you can measure across like this, going from side to side. You can measure across this way, then divide. So you can go from side, but make sure you're going on the right point and stopping on the right point. Start at the right point, stop at the right point. So you go side to side like this. So I think most of these measurements, you need to get someone to take it for you. Okay. So okay, this is it. And I have 23. Now let's see the one that one part will give me. Okay. 11.5. Yeah. It's quite the same. It's quite the same. So if you know you cannot accurately get this, you can go across this way for all of them. And not just going across, you can use it to compare. Okay. You can go fully then go halfway just to compare the result and know if you're accurately doing what you're doing. So now I'm tying this across my hip because I want to find that point. I don't know if you can see, but just tie across the hip. Then you measure from the floor up to find the horizontal balance line, right? So we're going to use this now to find the next categories, which are the vertical points. Now for the vertical points, you're going to be finding that of the side, the front, and the back. Okay. So for the side, according to the text, you measure, first of all, you find the shoulder length. Yes, this is called the shoulder length. From the nape of your neck to the tip of your shoulder is your shoulder length. Then you go ahead also and find the side length. So this goes from about 1 inch or 1.5 inch away from your armhole, or 2 inches, depends on how free you want it, to your waistline, not your abdomen. Okay, your waistline, that's where you stop, your waistline. So this is called the side length. Then from your waist, you're going to take from the waist to the hip. Okay, that point where my elastic is now, you find that point. This is your hip length for the side, or you call it the side hip length. Okay, so once you're done with that, that's the sides. Then for the front, you're going to take your bust point to under bust. So the fullest part of your bust, you can put your rope now across your chest to find where that fullest part is. Then from there, you measure to your under bust. So from your nipple to your under bust. This is called the bust radius. So to find the bust radius, when you tie your rope across your chest, you take your measurement from that point to the under bust. So where your bust stops there. So this is what your bust radius. So next for the front is what is called the center length. So you take it from the midpoint here. You know the neck comes with its own sector. Okay, you can identify where your neck starts from to this point, yeah, before you get to the head. So that point where it starts from is where you start from. Don't come into the neck unless you're doing something like a high neck. But yeah, we're doing the basics. So you're just starting from around here. Okay, you can come down to your collarbone. If you don't want it to choke you, come down to your collarbone here. Okay, so from that point now you take to your waist. Okay, you take it to your waist. So this is your center length. So you measure to your waist. So now you take the full length. Full length, you go from the nape of the neck. You already know this before. So you go across the bust and you measure. This is your full length. So make sure you're coming from the midpoint between the front here and the back. Okay. So go like this, you measure. So this one goes all the way across. Okay. So this is your full length, shoulder to waist. Then we have what is called the shoulder slope. You go from the tip of your shoulder across to the midpoint here. You measure, make sure you're starting from the tip all the way down. So the next one there in the text is bust depth. Okay, she measures it from here to the fullest part of the bust. I really don't know why, but that's how it measured. You know, we are used to measuring from here to here for bust length or bust depth. So remember that you're supposed to have your rope across the bust, the fullest part of your bust. So now this is what we're used to, but in the textbook it goes like this from shoulder tip, this tip of the shoulder now, tip to that point. So this length that I just found, which is the center length, full length, shoulder slope, you're going to find it for the back also. Then there's this measurement in the text that says new strap measurement. I don't really know what it's for, but you measure from here. Okay, let me do it. From here, the tip of your neck, you go across like this. Maybe if you're making a strap outfit or so, maybe that's it. So as time goes on, we'll find out what it's for. So far, we have covered all the measurements mentioned in the text. So you can also go through the text to check for any other thing that needs clarification. And here are the pictures of the measurements. You can just take a screenshot, to go through them and get used to it. All right. Now we have come to the end of day 6. You have seen how to take the accurate body measurements that are required for drafting the pattern set in this 30 days pattern making challenge. Okay, now take your own body measurement. This is your challenge action. Take your body measurement, do the normal one we know, okay, and write it down. You can do the divisions that are required there. Then do this one we just talked about by Helen Armstrong. Then compare it. Let's see the difference. What do you notice between the two? You can create a post about it, tag me, use the hashtag decode that pattern with Marriott so that I can engage. I'm going to see you in day 7.